this is my experience, that no matter how much you love God, you serve God, there will be some anger zones in your life when you will not understand why those sexual desires stay in you. I have concluded that the sexuality in us is a life force that's looking for expression, like a volcano that has to erupt. It's an energy. I feel like the sexual energy in a man is part of his predator nature. It's part of his go after the bear and pull it back to the cave nature. It's part of his energy to work and produce. It's part of his rulership. And it's part of his desire to reign and control. I feel like our sexuality is a major part. It's a God force in us that has to have expression. It'll come out through working hard or running or our genitals. But that life force in us is there. It's a God thing, requiring an appropriate focus. You have to give it a focus. You have to give it a direction. There will be times, there's been times I have been severely angry at God. In the last 29 years, there's been times I considered leaving the ministry and Christianity because I felt like it was an unfair request of a human being. There's been times I was embittered toward God. How can you give me this nature and tell me not to look? You're the one that put this in me. How many's ever had these kind of conversations with God? Okay. I noticed the ones who had. You will have those feelings, and it will be a battle. And my experience has been, it will be a battle off and on through your whole life. It won't end when you hit 20. It won't stop when you hit 40. And it won't stop when you hit 62. But if you'll interpret that desire for sexuality and that desire for change and difference, and you'll have a battle with boredom in that area. And you'll have a battle with the same thing even after you get married. And even sometimes, oh, if I just get married, I want to tell you something. You can be married and not get sex. You that are watching from Nigeria and Brazil might want to go to another website. This might be too heavy for you in your godly country. But if you will be honest with God about your feelings and your emotions, God will discuss it with you. He will converse with you. And He will give you a wisdom. What do I do with this energy? I feel like the need for creativity is never leaves a human. The desire for creative things, the desire for new, the desire for change. And your wife can't give you new. If you trade the whole florist shop for one rose, you got your rose. And it'll be your responsibility to work on your creativity, to work on your mind, to work on your nature. What do I do with this? And I feel like it's a life force. It really helped me tremendously when I realized that my sexual needs had to be focused, diminished, and rerouted. I couldn't act like they weren't there. I felt like that was lying. I feel like a lot of Christians lie every day, acting like they've never had a problem. Are you with me? But once you come to the presence of God and you say, Father, I am fighting a mind battle. I'm fighting a battle with my mind. And my sexual needs are so crazy. And they're weird and I don't understand. You will have fantasies that you do not understand. And there will be things that excite you that don't excite the man next to you. I don't think you decide what excites you. You discover what excites you. Then you have to bring it back to the presence of God to see if it's legitimate, if it's scriptural. And it may be something you simply have to live an overcoming posture all of your life with. All of your life. Now, I feel like if there's nothing to overcome, you can't be an overcomer. but I feel like God admires an overcomer, and he will compensate. My experience has been that God compensates me for everything I overcome. Every time I say no, God rewards me. God rewards me. I'm not single because I hadn't had an opportunity. I've met 2 or 3 people who wanted to marry. But the fact is, this is something I've got to work out in my mind. God, you're my source. You've given me this creative mind for a reason. I can use a hammer to bash a head in, or I can use a hammer to build a skyscraper. I can use this creative force in me to create changes in my life, improvement in my life, or I can use it sexually. If you'll interpret your sexuality as energy, now where do I focus this energy? Where do I focus this need that I have?